Hi, I'm Karen. I'm going to show you how to put product photos onto a completely white backdrop, and in particular using an image that has white in the product. So this creates a little extra challenge because with different methods we can lose our image when we are trying to make that backdrop really white. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is open our image, go up to File and Open. If you're working with a JPEG, it should open right in Photoshop, but if you're working with a raw image, it should open in Camera Raw Filter. Here you can adjust your exposure or any other features that you'd like about your image. When you're ready, go ahead and select Open Image. And the next thing we'd like to do is go up to Layer, New, Layer, and hit OK. And this will create a layer on top of our background layer. We want to go over and select the Paint Bucket tool and make sure we have white selected. And go ahead and click anywhere on your image, and this will cover our screen in white. Then we need to add a layer mask to this and bring your opacity down just to where you can see the edges of your image. For me, that's going to be about 25% or so. And next we want to select our brush tool and make sure we have black selected. And for this we want to use a hard brown brush. I have my opacity and my flow set to 100, and I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of my brush to very quickly and easily expose my image and brush that black or the white layer off. Once I get the majority of it, I want to zoom in, reduce my brush size, and go ahead and finish going over all of my image. Now you can be as particular as you want with this and take your time. For example's sake, I'm just going to do a rough job so that I can show you how we do this. If you happen to go over some of the edges and you've gone too far, you can go ahead and change your brush to white and then paint back in the white around your product. This will help clean up the edges of the image better. So when you're finished, we're going to go ahead and zoom out. And let's increase our opacity all the way to 100. And there we have our product with the white around it. And it looks like a completely white backdrop. Now if you notice, it looks a little funny because it looks like our object is just floating in midair. So from here, we can create a shadow. Let's go ahead and add a new layer. Layer, new, layer, okay. And we're gonna be back on our brush tool. Let's choose black again. And let's use a soft round brush this time. My opacity and my flow are still at 100. And I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger. And we're going to draw a stripe right across the base of this item where it would be sitting on a table or a surface. Now we're going to go over here and add a layer mask. And we are going to paint off this shadow a little bit at a time. So we want to make sure our brush is on black and leave it to soft and come down and very carefully paint off. Now this takes a little practice and you can play around with it to see how it looks, but you want to make it look like a realistic shadow. And once you have it pretty close to how you want it, let's go in and change our brush to hard round and zoom in on our item and make our brush quite a bit smaller and make sure we get all of that black off of our image. Now let's zoom out. And if your shadow appears too dark to you, you can always change the opacity and make it lighter or darker just according to your preference. But that is it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe.